Simon & Schuster Audio presents The Great Dissenter, the story of John Marshall Harlan, America's judicial hero. By Peter S. Canellos, read by Arthur Morey. Introduction. A Moral Hero. There are silences in American history. The suppression of the U.S. Constitution to impose legally enforced segregation from the 1880s to the 1910s is one of those hushed intervals. The decades of the Gilded Age were rigorously chronicled as a kind of rolling carnival, with the breathtaking excitement of industrial progress clashing with the grim reality of social regression, all to the tinkling tune of a player piano. But there was, between the notes, an untold story. In this hidden narrative, millions of American families fulfilled Abraham Lincoln's promise of a new birth of freedom after the Civil War, obtaining skills, starting businesses, exulting in a liberty unimaginable during slavery, and flexing some powerful political muscles. Then, as the narrative turned, those actions were ruthlessly extinguished, not all at once, but through a slow, menacing starvation. The ingredients for success, education, access to public accommodations, voting rights, and ultimately money, were gradually withdrawn, each deprivation in turn receiving the legal imprimatur of the United States Supreme Court. Outside the walls of segregation, there was no recognition of their struggles, their accomplishments, or the tragedy of their lost hopes. There was only silence. Among powerful white officials, one person's voice rang out. He reminded the nation that the post-Civil War amendments to the Constitution promised equal protection under the law. He advocated eloquently for black rights, along with the health and safety of immigrant industrial workers and the rights of people in places such as Puerto Rico, Hawaii, and the Philippines, which were ruled by the United States in a time of imperialism. One can see him now, John Marshall Harlan, a proud, portly, good-humored gentleman, a father of 6, adorned scrupulously in the pressed black suit and robe of a justice of the U.S. Supreme Court, even if within his cheek he balances a wad of tobacco and beneath his velvet chair rests a brass spittoon. No rebellious outsider was he, a lifelong leader in his Presbyterian church, an arch believer in the American system, a Civil War veteran, and even...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?